What are you saying, ladies and gentlemen?
Welcome to What Are You Saying? My name is Mohammed. I'm rocking with the co-host Osama. How are you doing today, sir?
Bro, I'm blessed. I thought you were doing a beat, so I was gonna say, I'm waiting till the beat drops so I can rap to it, but clearly no, just you blowing to something.
No, I wasn't blowing at all. This is a helicopter just landing in my backyard.
Okay.
But
I just,
guys, welcome
you
to
know
what?
what?
What do you want
Welcome
to
to
say?
what I was gonna say. Sorry. Actually, I'll say after. But yeah,
All right, no
continue.
worries. Welcome to What Are You Saying? Make sure to follow us at Ways 2.0 on Instagram. Once again, at Ways 2.0 on Instagram. You can follow Sam at Kusa300, Mohammed.global. Once again, at Mohammed.global. We'll be releasing new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, Breaker, now available on Overcast and also various platforms.
Yes, sir.
Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe every video as well.
On YouTube.
Osama.
On YouTube. Just remember that on YouTube. But I was going to say, how was the barbecue? I know I couldn't come in. Apparently, your parents were asking about me.
Yeah, because what happened was, before I left, ladies and gentlemen, to let you know, I was busy. I was supposed to do something, and then something else came about, so I ended up helping my cousin move over a whole day. So the original plan was to have a barbecue and invite all our friends over. Don't worry, people, not more than 10 people in the house, obviously following the COVID rules. And so I ended up having to move my cousin. So my brother took over, and everyone came through. And before I left, I talked to Osama, and he's like, "You know what? I might come, depending, because you have to do something, right?" So I was like, "No worries." Well, he's like, "I'll see." So when I came back, obviously I was super tired and everything, but I heard some noise in the backyard. Went to the backyard, saw everyone just chilling, relaxing.
The
So I
food
thought you were there. So when I
yeah, yeah.
opened the door, I saw everyone except you. So I was like, "Where's Osama?" And then your bro said that he didn't come because you were tired. I think he did something, whatever.
Yeah.
So my mom's like, call Sama. I'm okay, no worries, I'll call Sama. But I was so tired.
Yeah.
I didn't even grab my phone out. And the thing is, by the time it was time to eat, ask your brother, bro. Everyone's eating. My mom was making me go like do things. I'm like, Mom, I just moved for like the past 8 hours. Like, I'm
Bro,
tired.
first of all, shout out to Mohammed's mom, like beautiful lady. I was gonna say, apparently she roasted us, bro, because we couldn't cook.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, she did that.
Why?
She went off.
Why did I get into this conversation, bro? Who started this?
It was my brother and your brother. They just
Oh,
started off like, oh, the
snakes,
younger siblings have to cook and all this stuff.
snakes, and yet they don't do the errands, bro.
Exactly.
Yet they
I'm
don't do
like,
the errands.
guys,
You
if
know,
you do the errands, you understand.
the funny thing is, we would have time to cook if we can go do our own errands.
Of course. Of course. It's that simple.
And another thing, it's not like we don't know how to cook. It's we choose sometimes that we want to cook. It's like we're too. I just get too lazy when it comes to cooking. Honestly speaking, like I feel, you know what? I know today we're deciding what to talk about, but food seems pretty interesting. So Mohammed, in terms of food, bro,
Yes.
how much do you love food?
How much do I love
I
food?
just want to know how much you love food because obviously we don't know how to cook, so it's pretty interesting.
Well, obviously, I'm pretty known for being a person that's considered picky, but it's not that I'm picky. It's just I know what I like. There's a difference. I know what I like. All right.
You know
Uh,
what you like.
I've pretty much my food choices have been consistent. Obviously, that's a good thing over the past whole span of my lifetime. So
Mm.
for me, it's mostly about 10 food items that I rock with. Everything else is very hard for me to accept. Uh,
It's
so
not
yeah, I eat
bad.
about 10
It's
things.
not bad. It's not bad. It's
That's
not
it.
bad.
That's it.
That's
And
not.
the thing is,
I just
for
want.
me, it's like I want to keep cutting Osama off because I know what he's about to say. So for me, it's like just defend myself. You don't need that much food, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
wasn't. I wasn't even gonna get like roast you.
Oh, okay. Either way, continue.
This guy's gonna cut Osama off. Okay, first of all, I just wanted to say, guys, and ladies that are listening to this podcast, I do want to thank you again. We're just talking about food because I'm actually pretty hungry. I woke up and I had to do errands as opposed to waking up and going straight to the podcast.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
probably gonna order shawarma after.
why do you say this?
I have to.
I guess you know what? I'm not sure what we want to talk about today. Today seems like a chill day. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like there's nothing that comes to mind aside from
Sorry, not to cut you off again. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's very
it's okay. I
uncharacter like of myself, but you know what?
still love you.
You brought up guys and girls as far as like people are watching us.
Yeah.
I want to give a big shout out to all the girls, man. All the
Yeah.
girls have been rocking with us. The support these
Yeah.
past
Yeah.
couple of weeks, I'm surprised me. I'm very
Let's give a
surprised.
shout out. Let's give a shout out to Asil,
Yes,
Lean.
yes,
I believe her friend Batul as well, who
yes,
shouted us out when Asil's episode came out.
yep,
Olivia, shout out to
yep.
you.
Shout out to everyone, all the support, obviously from both genders. But like the thing is, when we first started out the show, I don't know why. Well, it makes sense, obviously. Like our topics, our style, whatever, and everything. Like we thought we'd attract both genders, but when we looked back on the results, it was clearly guys.
You know,
Okay, something's wrong.
it's it's funny actually because one of Olivia's friend messaged us on the Ways Account. I'm not sure if you saw, and I'll shout out to him as well. He's like, he followed us. He's like, I want to get some local support. I'm like, I appreciate it, bro. And he basically asked me how Ways started, right? Because a lot of people always want to ask how Ways started because nobody knows the full details of like how it happened, where it happened, and stuff like that. But I
Yeah,
do want to say because he was asking me. I want to talk about this one thing. He was basically saying, I know right now this episode's like basically talking about a lot of stuff, but whatever. So this guy was messaging, yo, bro, like, how are you such a podcast about if you don't mind me asking? And honestly, the true answer is you just gotta like try it, right?
try.
Obviously, again, I'm gonna say this again to people. The talk shows we have on our GoPro, which I actually have in my hard drive. I think we filmed around like 200, bro. Like, there's so much.
Oh yeah, there's. We have so much footage that no one has ever
Ever
seen.
seen. And I remember we would always say, it's like, no one's ever gonna see this footage ever again. So who
Like
knows?
it's legit hours upon hours. Like it's legit probably like 2 months or more than 2 months.
Oh,
Obviously,
probably more
it's
than 2 months, bro.
yeah, but it's at
Because
least 200 videos of
this,
content, not like 10 minutes, like long.
no. This content could take a while to finish.
So that's the beautiful thing about it. Like you know how people say you have to put in like those 10,000 hours. Like
Yeah.
that's what we've been doing, right? Just putting in those hours, just putting in those hours.
So let me ask
And
you.
actually, the funny thing is, we get to talk about this because for me, I don't know about you, like we started the podcast, obviously, right? And now it's the two
Yeah.
of us and everything,
Yeah.
and trying to get back the rhythm and everything and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel for me, we didn't. For me, I think like obviously when you start something, you're trying to figure out how to mesh and how to make it perfect and everything. But obviously with the podcast,
Yeah.
like the one that we had with our former partner, obviously like we eventually built up to the point where we knew our timing, the chemistry, and all that stuff and everything, so it's easier. Obviously, once it became the two of us, you think it would be easy, but at the same time, it's not easy because it's all over again. And plus, we didn't record in a long time, so
Yeah.
so for me, I feel as if we didn't get like the groove, like as far as like that flow, until episode was it 11 Pieces of Humanity,
Yeah, it's fair to say.
part one.
It's fair to say. I would say
That's for me. That's for me. That's for me.
not, which is fair to say because obviously, like it was so spontaneous and how I was posting pictures and I start going on my own and start doing stuff and I message you randomly like, yo, bro, we're doing this. You're like, okay, not sure what Osama's doing, but I'm gonna see what he does. And then we film episode one. Like, don't get me wrong, people who are listening is like, but your episodes are not that bad. Yeah, they're not that bad, but obviously you have to take it into consideration from a team who had the opportunity to meet a lot of creators and they want to collab with them. Like at a really early stage. Like that's really rare too.
Yeah.
So obviously going and redoing this whole thing is like we revamped. I remember we would always say we were in reconstruction, but we were actually in reconstruction phase. We reconstructed the whole thing.
Eglinton, bro.
Eglinton and Mavis, bro. It's always like reconstruction area. But
and
yeah.
the thing is, it's not that like yeah, because we might get confused. Like, what do you guys mean? Like the episodes aren't that bad. No, the thing is, I'm not physically with Osama, so I can't see him.
Exactly.
So that's what makes it harder because we're using Anchor. So the thing is, obviously, if I was in person with Osama, it'd probably be like by episode 2 or 3, the flow would be there, obviously, right? Because we could just see him and everything and all that stuff. But since it's over Anchor, and obviously I'm just listening, and you can't see the person and the timing and the Wi-Fi connection, all that stuff, you have to get used to that. So that takes a lot of timing and just obviously practice, right? So for me, it wasn't until like episode 11 where like as far as the chemistry, as far as the timing, as far as the pace, as far as having that flow, that natural flow, and not seeing him, I think like we finally got that back since episode 11, Pieces of Humanity, and since then it's just been
You know,
easy.
oh, and I also want to shout out. Sorry, another person. I forgot to shout her out. She has a fitness account. And she always like gives me advice. You know, her account's Easy Fitness. So I just want to shout out to her.
Thank you. I didn't know who that was this whole time.
Really?
I'm like, do I know this person? Because
Well,
I'm pretty sure I know this person, but I just don't know the face behind it.
she
So I'm not
went.
gonna ask.
She went to our high school.
Say word.
Yeah, she's a pretty cool person. But I do want to say to add on to your point because I just feel with this whole podcast strategy, right? 'Cause Mohammed just mentioned that we're not together in a room, like, and obviously, which make it a lot easier because you're obviously like, you can feel the expression on someone's face as opposed to like, for example, I guarantee you the episode with I see in episode 5 mentoring them. I also forgot the title, but we're just gonna call it episode 5.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it would have been amazing because like you get to see her expression, how she really felt, and you could feel her expression, but different. But seeing it because this is like it adds
Of course.
it adds as a pack as the someone who's doing a podcast, you'd feel the emotion. It might ask you, it might do a different question. Though that episode came out amazing. Yeah, I do agree. For me personally, I felt as if I want to say like I was around like maybe a little bit earlier than Mo. I felt a little bit more comfortable, but it's fair to say that for people we feel differently. But even with our own talk show on YouTube, it was pretty hard. Like the amount of times we'd have to redo the power video, we redid it so many times.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, the episode 2. Because the funny thing is, it literally came down to the last hour because we rented the room for how many hours? I don't know if it's like 4 hours. I don't know how long, but it wasn't until like the last 40 minutes that we're like, okay, we have to get this done because we just kept messing up over and over again, right? So it's yeah, just like the weekend, the album, like there's beauty behind the madness. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, right? So but that's what it
Yeah,
takes. You have to fail in order to
yeah.
succeed, right? So
Well,
with us doing that multiple times, and the thing is, we try to get it on the first time. You want to get it perfect, obviously, right? But that's not how it works. You gotta
but
make mistakes to learn from the mistakes. So Osama wants to talk, but I'm gonna keep cutting him off, and may speak now.
I was just waiting to listen to you because you're saying a lot of captivating points. You talked about success and failure. If people remember, success in the beginning to me was not a ways to me in the beginning was not a success. It was a huge failure
Yeah,
because if you look back at the opportunities that were handed to us, we never really took it seriously. We
no,
were we had an opportunity given us like food on a platter. Like here you go. This is your turn now.
yeah,
And I don't think a lot of us took it seriously. I don't think the meeting that we would have. But now the difference is now, and by the way, this has nothing to do with the fact that we're in Corona. Like, are thinking shit differently. I just think this is the fact that you asked me a question yesterday. I'll leave this the thing that we are talking about yesterday. I'll leave that personal, but that I felt at that point it was like a stage show of shaping our minds of where we wanted ways to be, just to give a sense of like the flow was
oh,
up.
yesterday night. Oh, yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
We'll leave that for a different video down the road, but
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
do want to say that I'm not sure if you agree. To me, I felt the beginning of Ways wasn't the biggest failure because regardless of how many views we got.
Wait, do you mean when you say ways is the biggest failure? Are you talking about your life as far as the things that you've done, or what do you mean by? Are you talking
I
about just ways general? Like,
I just feel like in the beginning, like if you look back, like right now, I feel there's more success in terms of traction because we're actually taking it seriously. But I feel the beginning of Ways, like I'm not even talking like pre-Ways, like in the beginning, like when we were just like sitting down doing nothing.
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
To me, looking back, that was a failure.
Of course,
It was a huge failure because had we put in more work then, it definitely would have took us to a whole different trajectory.
of course, of course. You're right. But that's the funny thing about life. You really need something to push yourself to get to that point, and that's how it works. Even with what really, goat, do not eat goat. Even with ways, it was the exact same thing. It's like, okay, we know what we need to do. So therefore, since we know what we need to do, we got to get there. But that didn't happen, obviously, right? Different things happened, different things occurred,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's not fun. Obviously, it's not exciting. Different emotions and stuff, but it's a journey, right? What they say, it's a marathon. It's not a race, right? I messed up.
No, it's right. It's a marathon, not a race.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Because when
So,
because marathon like obviously is a longer way to get to your. You know the thing is, dude, because you said that a lot of people want success short, and I knew from a young age that success is not. If you want big success, which I know you do, it takes a long time.
long time.
If you want temporary success, then yeah, bro, we had that temporary success, bro. I can go back to that amount of times we've had temporary success, and the amount of times certain like I guess you can call them the creators, but they're not as big and known, but I guess they're locally known that want the collab.
Like,
But
how do you become $1 million company starting off as a podcast or YouTube show within a year or two?
you
Like, you might get 1 million views and stuff, but you don't know what you're doing as far as like endorsement deals and all these different things. Like, it takes time to actually really figure out how to
exactly
do business beyond your product and beyond your brand. Like,
no,
no, it's actually
absolutely,
this simple. Yourself as the product to become a millionaire or to make a lot of $1 million within the next 2 to 3 years, you need a lot of work, intel, knowledge, and mentorship and guidance. Now, to make it quicker as far as being a brand and knowing how to utilize it, yeah, it'll come quicker. But if you don't know, it's gonna take a longer time. So for me, Osama, whoever else that's a content creator in whatever field, if you have an idea and you're whether you make videos for fashion, gaming, whatever, like photography, whatever you do, if you know what it takes, because obviously you know the people on the top as far as in your field and industry, like is not going to take a year or two to become successful.
hmm
Maybe it might take a year or two to get recognition from different people, but success as far as financial freedom and those multiple streams of income, that takes time because you have to build an audience and you have to figure out how to use
yeah,
that to gain leverage.
yeah,
So therefore, like right now, what we're 24, 25.
yeah,
So if Waves blows up, let's say tomorrow, let's say it becomes big, like by the end of the year, we get like 100,000 subscribers. Every video is getting like 500,000 views. Okay, that's beautiful. But is it guaranteed that me and Osam be a millionaire? No.
no,
Even if we're making a lot of money, more money than we've ever made in our life, we still might be having a job at the same time because obviously, like you can't. We haven't utilized. We haven't maximized. How to say? Don't eat goat. We haven't maximized. Is that a word?
what's the word?
Maximized.
I just you just gotta roll with it at this point.
All right, I gotta go. I gotta roll with the punches. We haven't maxed out. There we go. We haven't maxed out the full opportunity of ways as far as using it for our leverage and as far as multiple streams. So therefore, at the same time, we have to grow and we have to
hmm
learn from that. So at the same time, we can't just leave everything we have just
Yeah,
because we got 100,000 subscribers overnight. Who knows? Something might happen and you might lose it as quick as possible
yeah,
because now we live in cancel culture. So it's like nothing's gonna happen overnight. So to truly become a millionaire or whatever money you have an amount, like whatever amount of money you have in your idea as far as success, it's going to take time because you got to learn how to really not only save it but reinvest it to make even
but
more. So
yeah,
yeah,
and to add on to your point, I feel like to me, I never wanted temporary success at all because
yeah,
you're do you want success or do you want to leave a legacy? Is the question. Like if you look at all the greats that have been successful in their fields, whether it be
that's a good topic for another question for another
yeah,
episode.
I'll just touch on it a bit. If you leave, for example, if you think of Ali, if you think of Jordan, if you think of Wayne Gretzky, if you think of like Ronaldinho or Zidane, they did not get. They definitely went through their obstacles. If you like, obviously, you know, if you use stories of like, obviously, I can talk about Jordan, I can talk about Ali, but look at their legacy. People still remember them till this day. Like Muhammad Ali passed away like 4 years ago, yet people still remember him till this day. Certain boxers will still say, Mike Tyson specifically will always say Muhammad Ali is the best boxer in the whole world because of the. Because I remember he was on a podcast and he said he is not afraid to die for the sport.
Yeah,
That's a legacy. A lot of people just want the money. And Lean mentioned it on our on our previous episode. She thinks people's money and stocks like just want the boats, the cars, the girls, and stuff like that. But she's like, that's not really how it is.
that was a real episode. That was yeah. Shout out to Lean because man, she shocked me, you, and any person that listened because obviously like people have that's what I told in an episode, like people have perceptions of who people are as far as whatever industry you are. Obviously I know she was different, still unique, but still when you find out the truth behind a person, when they reveal who they are and what they're about and their intent and their character, what they're going for, man, she shocked the crap out of me, and that's amazing. That's why I love this show because, like, bro, remember that question I asked her? I'm like, the question I asked her was, uh, "Who are the top three people you look to as mentors?"
Oh yeah.
She said myself 10 years from now as first.
See, if I had said that, like, obviously I've always thought that, but if I know if I had said that, people think I'm egotistical. But when she said that, I'm like, okay, bro. It's like, you know, this person is achieving
You
greatness.
never hear a girl say like something like that, right? Like especially girls doing business, all that stuff. Like
I
when you
have,
hear like, bro, that was one of the
bro,
greatest moments of my life.
fam, forget any girl or any guy. I have never heard anybody aside from myself, or maybe aside from like anybody that I know, say that answer. Like, she's like, when you asked her that question, I probably would have thought she would have said like someone from stock, someone that she watches in terms of motivation. She's like myself in 10 years from now. That that's how you know she knows success is a long road for her. But 10 years down the road, that's her mentor right there to get to herself 10 years from now. That's an insane answer.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
when she said that, I had to pause for a bit. I'm like, bro,
it's incredible, incredible.
literally
Never,
insane.
never seen anything like it before. That's why this show's amazing. Have amazing guests on, different conversations, and it just lets you know that anything's possible, right? And you think you want to learn, but when someone tells you something, you really learn,
Yeah, of
whether
course.
you're expecting it or not.
It doesn't, it should not emasculate like a man to like learn something from someone else who's better. Like, for example, when I go work out, one of our friends who's a trainer, he'll help me out because obviously he studied it, he knows this, so he's benefiting me to get healthy, to get more like to more get more in shape. If, for example, like someone like hypothetically speaking, we collab with someone who's a good videographer, I'm not going to complain because we never had an amazing videographer. We've always had mediocre videographers. I'm not even that good. I'm just like, oh, decent because I taught myself and I obviously can learn more, and learning good is good. So it's always good to. I remember one of my friends said this, and he was like, I like to surround myself with people who are equal as me or better than me so I can learn. And
Yeah,
the fact that you went to the what's that thing called again? The festival you Andreas went to,
Buffer Festival.
Buffer Festival.
Yeah,
You surrounded yourself with amazing videographers. Like, you took bare notes. I know you did. You took in all the information and you brought that to ways.
yeah. It was a incredible weekend. Incredible weekend. Because the thing is, I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go the year before, but something happened, which I'll probably talk about in a future episode. But yeah, of course, knowing that I had to wait another year, and of course, you know that you could have learned so much even the year before. It makes you want to do everything within your power to maximize everything that you can get as far as information, conversations, and just understanding. So therefore, you can use it to help yourself in whatever thing you're doing, right? So you're totally right.
Yes,
So
sir.
that was the thing. So I'm like, man, I have to wait another year because of what happened last year. Bro, when I come back this year, I'm going to make sure to do as much as possible. Like, I don't want to leave and say that I didn't give my best, right? I didn't give my all. I didn't try to use as much as I could to make myself better and also the platform ways and stuff, right? So
Yep.
yeah, that's like there's those moments in life, right? So most people we have to learn the hard way, right? So when something's given to us, we don't take it for granted,
Yep.
and therefore when it's pulled away or stripped back, that's when like, oh, we really messed up. We
Yep.
should have done it while we had the chance. Therefore,
Yep.
you
Yep.
work
Yep.
harder for it, right? So
It's funny that we're talking about this. It's also like going back for a lot of people that don't know. Me and Muhammad are working on a secret project that was supposed to be. Uh, well, we would have been done filming by now, if I'm not mistaken, and we were hoping to premiere it at this Buffer Festival. But because things, obviously, external factors that are not in our hands to control, things came about, obviously, Corona and stuff like that, where we weren't able to film. But it made me realize that if you want something to be great, you have to be patient for the outcome.
yeah,
And bro, is that the Kangen water you have?
I didn't know you could hear that, but yeah, everyone's just like moving around and stuff.
All I hear is turn on.
I didn't
Um,
know you could hear that. Obviously, makes sense with the mic, so makes
well,
sense.
hey man, like you are a beautiful soul. You are Muhammad.
And you are Osama as well.
Honestly, bro, like I just feel to everybody that's listening, stop worrying about like being successful. Start just how about you just start worrying about leaving a legacy? Because you know people what I find what drives people off, and I want to hear your opinion on this.
Yeah,
A lot of people will determine success with how much money they make. Well, if you ask your dads, your parents, they'll say they're successful, but they're not millionaires. They're not multimillionaires.
yeah.
If you ask Bill Gates, yes, he'll say it's successful. But you know what? Like my question to you, and I'll tell you my answer after. What do you think is the definition of like success to you? Like, what do you think? What do you think is that driving factor of someone being successful?
This is so funny because I always see like every like 3 months, someone ask you what is the definition of success. During the lockdown for work, we had a call, and someone asked me the exact same thing. I think one of the bosses asked me the exact same thing. Ask the group, what is the definition of success? And for you to write it down. And I know I wrote it down. Let's see if I can find it because I'm like, I already wrote it down. I wrote down like
Well,
my definition of success.
as Muhammad
And
as Muhammad is looking for his notes, please follow us at Ways 2.0 on Instagram. Also, follow myself on Kusa300 and my Muhammad at Muhammad.global.
all right. So therefore I can't find it. So I gotta go from top of the head. Cool.
Shame.
Uh the definition of success.
Shame.
Definition of success.
Definition of success.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah.
Gang.
There's a two-part answer because one answered obviously the easiest way to define success, easiest way to define success is getting a goal. No, actually, hold on, let me say this. Easiest way to define success for everyone, just to give like a general understanding, is legit accomplishing a goal, whether it's small, medium, or major, that doesn't involve any money. Like it doesn't have to do anything with money or financial gain.
Mm. Yeah,
So it's really legit accomplishing a goal, whether it's small, medium, or large, that has nothing to do with money. Even if it has something to do with money, money is not the emphasis. That's not the main point of it. It's accomplishing your goal at hand. Whatever thing you had as far as your dream, accomplishments, and things you've been thinking about all this time, the fact that you're able to do it eventually over a point in a period of time, and it's not based or heavily dependent upon money or financial gains, that's success, whatever that is to you.
which I totally
Uh,
agree.
yeah. So I think that's the easiest way to define it. Because obviously people are like, oh, success, money, 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 money. No, that's something that's a part of it, but that's not what it is. That's not what success is. Success has nothing to do with money.
To me, success has a lot to do with heart, how far someone's willing to go. Because obviously, there's a story behind it. Like, for example, uh, you said it yourself, money is not the driving factor of how you tell if someone's successful or not. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That means I can call. That means I can call like the worst actor success because like he makes a lot of money successful. No, like you don't define success like that.
Yeah.
Success should be defined in, like how you said it, and also it should be defined as like for me also like just like because if going back to my original point, you can ask anybody who someone who makes $40,000 a year, are you successful? Yes, because maybe that's how what he wants to do for the rest of his life. Everyone has their own definition of success and how they define it, what they want to do with it. There are those 1% people, you being one of them, and myself, and other people that we know that want to go above and beyond and keep rising, keep rising. And Lena said something on the other podcast. She's like, I don't have goals, I have milestones. But each time I reach that milestone, I just go to the next one. What's next? What's next? What's next? That's a successful
She
person.
said that.
Yeah,
Damn. I think I was just too shocked. I was just too odd in the moment. I gotta go back and listen.
bro. I said that as well. But see, like, the only thing sometimes when you say things to yourself, it's different. But hearing someone else say is it's almost like a shocking
Of
factor.
course.
hearing
Of
her say
course.
that, you know within her, like, damn, this girl keeps going up and up and up and does not stop. And that's how success should be. Success,
Yeah.
not to, yeah.
Yeah, nothing's gonna stop anyone that's ambitious, that's eager to not prove something to others, but to themselves that they could get a goal accomplished with or without people is respecting. No, don't eat goat. It's
What's wrong
very
with you
very.
eating goat, bro?
It's very very admirable. And therefore, I salute to everyone that's on their journey, that's on their pathway, whether at the beginning, the middle, or close to the end. It's never a race, it's a marathon. So therefore, there's hurdles, goat. So therefore, there's hurdles, there's hardships, and there's a lot of struggles that come with it, but you have to be focused, patient, and remain at ease with the target at hand, which is accomplishing your goal. And if you can't, hit Osama up, ask for advice. If you can't, hit myself up, ask for advice. If you can't, hit up Ways 2.0 on Instagram. Once again, at Ways 2.0 on Instagram. Give us questions, feedback. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. If you have something personal you want to talk about, whether you want to share on the show or not, still, we're here for you. We love to talk to people. We love to give out advice. And we also love to learn as well, right? So that's what matters. Follow Osama at Kusa300. Once again, at Kusa300. You can follow me at Muhammad.global, at Muhammad.global. Episodes will be coming out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Breaker, Anchor, now available on Overcast. So a lot of platforms, different mediums. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure to let people know about the show. If you want to come on the show, hit up myself, hit up Osama, or hit up at Ways 2.0 on Instagram. So therefore, we could just make it bigger, better, and more exciting because this show is amazing. Talking to people is amazing. Learning from Osama is amazing. And just obviously, as time goes on, and obviously with the virus hopefully coming to an end, we can come out, do videos, and therefore we can make it more exciting, more eventful, and more powerful for our audience.
You sounded so Irish when you said that. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Mo, thank you for taking the outro.
Thank
Peace.
you. Peace.